Let's sew a pair of trousers. Easy, fast, and ideal for beginners. We're not going to need a pattern because we're going to trace them from trousers that we already own and we know that fit nicely. And I got this piece of remnant. It's a denim, it's a bit elastic, and that's what I need because I'm changing sizes and I want something easy I can wear for a few months and with an elastic band. So I got this piece of remnant, I think before Christmas, and I have like 1.30 m sort of, and it is elastic, it's elasticated but not on the grain but cross grain. So unpopular opinion, I'm going to be cutting cross grain. Why? Because I need it to be elastic. And then another thing is that how to know when something is on the grain or cross grain, and it is because I can see the selvage edge here, which is really nice, and I'm going to be using as the bottom bit of the trousers, as the hem, so I don't have to hem them. With our fabric folded, we're going to trace and cut a pair of trousers. The next step is sewing together the legs so we can put one inside the other, sew the crotch line and add an elastic band on the top. Well, I'm going to be doing something new because I've never done sort of pyjama trousers, those that the panels are the whole hip, like you're going to cut from the middle bit here, from the crotch all the way back to the other seam, to the back seam. So for that, I'm going to be folding my fabric like this, like a door, so to the middle, and the other side to the middle as well. So I'm going to trace the pattern here, and then when I open it, I'm going to have the whole panel. I think it's going to be better having the less seams as possible because it's going to be elasticated on the waistline. So in my head, it makes more sense. So I just placed the trousers I'm going to be using as model on top of the folded bit, and the folded bit is against the crotch line, so it comes all around the hip area from a seam to seam. And one thing I'm being careful about is the how high I want them or how low, because I want to use the selvage edge. But if you're not, of course you don't have to, but I measure myself from crotch line down to where they will land, and I'm happy with this measurement. And once I cut one side, I'll use them to cut the other, because that way I make no mistakes. And now that I have my panels, I'm going to sew them braces together from the crotch line down to the hemline, and just with a straight stitch. And because it's the only seam, apart from the other one, that's going to have on the leg, I'm going to top stitch it, folding to one side, and that way it looks nice. It's something else it has, so let's do it. And for the top stitching, I'm not going to be opening the seam. I'm just going to fold to one side and sew parallel to the seam I just made. What I have to be really careful about is not to overload the the machine with more fabric, because if not, it'll be a mess. Well, I have my 2 panels done. One is right sides in. I'll tell you in a minute why. And I want to appreciate my seam. I really like top stitching, I always say. Not only is decorative, but it gives the garment or whatever you're sewing structure. So in this case, the seam stays flat. You normally will sew flat fell seams on trousers, but in this case, I thought with this was enough because it's a thin fabric and I didn't want it more. And I even chose a lighter thread, like a pale blue, because I thought, well, this way you can see it, it's decorative, but you can't really even see it that much. But anyways, and I have one of them right size in because I'm going to sew the crotch line all in a row, like the whole thing from belly button to back. And for that, I'm going to put one inside the other one, and because they have to be right size together, I'm going to put this one inside of the one that's right size in. I think they used to call this the burrito method. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, if you saw that at some point I went forwards and backwards with the sewing machine, it was just because to make sure that the seam was strong. The flowers the pattern has are not drawn, they are like worn, so I'm a bit concerned about them, but that's it. I'm gonna try them on, and that way I can see how I'm going. So I'm really happy and relieved as well. At some point I thought they looked a bit small. I wasn't sure. I'm in between sizes. I can't use my pattern blocks because they don't fit. And I was using a pair of trousers that is over there as a model. So everything was a bit on thin air. And then I had never done the model with the all in one, so I was a bit concerned about everything, but they fit nicely. They're really comfy, the fabric is really soft, so that's that. And I didn't plan on it, but I added top stitching on the crotch seam as well, just in case I don't know, I sit or they break or anything. So that's that. And I'm going to add elastic band. Not that I need it right now, but in a while I hope they will start feeling a bit loose. So that's why. So I'm just going to measure like this, cut and sew. You look, these elastic bands, this white, are really comfortable, and I'm going to be sewing it really easy. I'm going to put it together, and then I'm going to sew it on top really easy because then I can modify if I need to. So I'm going to sew it right sides together on the top, so then it can go inside. On the inside it's going to be, you can see it, but that way I can change anything. And now I'm going to sew it on top of the trousers, and I'm going to be pinning on one seam and on the other one, and then stretching. Sewing it this way, you get this sort of paper bag effect, and you can even wear a belt on top, so it looks really nice and it's easy to change if anything happens. So I'm quite happy with them. Let's try them on. A ver. Well, I'm really happy about how they turn out. They are so comfy. The fabric is really soft and they are really comfy to wear. I'm quite happy because they are elasticated, which is what I need right now. And I love how the hem look because it's really decorative. I love how when you know the rules, you can break them. So you know you have to sew on the grain, but then if you need to, you can sew cross grain, which was what I needed to because it was where the elasticated bit was. So I'm really pleased with them. I love how they look and I love the waistband as well. That's why they're easy, because I didn't have to sew a waistband. I just attached the elastic band and made it look like it has one. It's really comfy. It's not itchy at all on the inside, and it's easy to change in case I need to modify something. So I'm really pleased with them. Tell me what you think, if you've done something similar, if you're planning to, and don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share with someone who might enjoy it. Bye!